On June 18th of 2021, I was fortunate enough to take part in an overnight paranormal investigation and ghost hunt at the famous Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. Along with a number of other individuals taking part, I, along with my friends Jacob, Drew, Andrew, and Jacob's father Bill, was able to spend the hours from approximately 8 p.m. through 2 a.m. in a rotation away from interference with other groups, each group exploring a section of the prison at a time. Although each section of the former prison, including the chapel, administration building, upper wings, and prison blocks, brought various amounts of evidence and personal experiences, it was my exploration of the West Cell Block that resulted in the clips included in this video. To help paint a picture of the night for you, our evening started in the attic of the West Block. Formerly, this area, once and now again used for storage, had once housed a number of transferred prisoners when its sister prison, the Ohio Penitentiary in Columbus, Ohio, caught fire. During that housing, the cramped quarters offered no cells or barriers for the prisoners and resulted in a number of inmate deaths. Our guide was an experienced woman named Lindsay, whom we had known through various circles through the years. Using a mostly unscrewed flashlight and dowsing rods, she and my group began attempting to communicate with any paranormal entities in the attic with us. Dowsing rods are said to be able to be used by spirits to communicate by pointing two metal rods in directions to help coordinate an answer, making an X to signal a yes response or aiming in different directions to indicate a no, for example. The ones Lindsay was using had a soft red LED light attached to them to make them easier to see in the dark. In the pitch black of the room, I had taken to wandering away from the rest of everyone to investigate on my own, but to no great or interesting result. Eventually returning to the rest of my group, who had now set themselves in a circle to ask questions to the room using the dowsing rods, I found that 3 separate times the flashlight would light up whenever I crossed its path at random intervals. Twice, when the light would begin to shut off, I was able to use hand gestures to prompt it to continue staying lit, and both times signaled for it to stop, which it did. I did not mention this to any of the others until after we had left the area. After this, I quietly joined the circle with the others, and as they asked questions to the dowsing rods, such as, "Do you know what year it is? Can you point out the one of us that has weird hair?" Drew, at this time, was sporting a green mohawk. I was somewhat surprised when Jacob asked aloud, "Which one of us is Irish?" This was obviously aimed at me, looking the part with red hair and beard. Now, with no light in the room, and trying to stay quiet so as not to disrupt them, there was no obvious way for anyone to know my location. However, the dowsing rods pointed directly in my direction in the pitch-black room. I had to speak up to let them know that, yes, they were correct. The Ohio State Reformatory was opened in 1886 and closed in 1990. This time frame would place it right in the midst of anti-Irish sentiments permeating the United States, which meant that the obvious follow-up question was, "Does it bother you that I'm Irish?" Immediately, the dowsing rod split into a yes. I'm not the biggest believer in dowsing rods, and this alone would certainly not stand to make a believer out of me that the Mansfield prison was or is haunted. It was what would occur after when we entered the West Block showers that would start to change my mind. The showers on this end of the prison stand at the end of a lengthy hallway by itself at the far end of the West Cell Block. Within the showers, Lindsay brought out a spirit box, a device which spans AM/FM frequencies within a fraction of a second each. It's common to hear portions of a word, but anything like a full word or sentence shouldn't be possible in such a short frame of time. As such, spirits are said to be able to speak through the frequencies to provide responses. To help ensure good faith, Lindsay blindfolded herself to keep from seeing where we were in the room and used sound-canceling headphones to listen to the responses and prevent her from hearing our questions. By doing this, we felt more assured that the things that she heard through the spirit box were not used to lead us into faked results. From the start of our session, the far side of the hallway that we had entered in filled me with a sort of anxiety. I couldn't look down it towards the cell blocks without the sensation that someone was there watching us, or getting ready to join us, maybe. I asked Drew to eye the hallway without describing what I had felt. He confirmed experiencing the same sort of anxiousness, so naturally, I went to explore it on my own. After a few minutes by myself at the other side of the hallway, I decided to return to the others. Some random spirit box responses kept us hoping for intelligent answers to our questions, and about 30 minutes later, we got some. By now, we had taken to sitting in a semicircle around Lindsay on the floor of the shower. Jacob once again asked for lightning to strike twice, inquiring about my Irish heritage and if it was drawing the ire of any of the spirits who may be with us. Again, through Lindsay, the spirit box provided a confirmation. Shortly after, somebody else asked if there was anything the spirits wanted us to do. The spirit box requested us that we stand. We did. We asked what it wanted us to stand for. No response. Off the back that we now had confirmation twice that I was irritating something there with us, I asked the spirit box if it wanted me to do anything, and we received a request for me to go. This certainly raised some eyebrows, and when I asked where I was supposed to go, we received another response. Get it. And I did. What I hadn't told anyone was that when I walked by myself to the end of the hallway, I had left my audio recorder on in hopes of picking up paranormal activities or voices. I believe the spirit box's words were telling me to return to get my audio recorder. Over 40 minutes of audio resulted in these findings. This clip, taken approximately 1 minute and 45 seconds into the recording, a deep voice can be heard to utter my name, James. At approximately 3 minutes and 24 seconds into the recording, the same voice is heard again saying something that I believe to be unintelligible. Take a listen. At around 6.5 minutes into the recording, Lindsay can be heard speaking in the showers, repeating a word spoken through the spirit box. She is the female voice on this next clip. Moments later, the same deep voice that said my name can be heard repeating what she said. Unfortunately, I'm unable to discern what word is being said by either of them. Now, around this time, I returned to the end of the hallway at the prompting of the spirit box session to get it. Deciding to use this opportunity to catch some EVP, I asked if the fact that I was Irish was in fact bothering the spirits. This time, around 45 minutes into the recording, a voice can be heard saying this was not the case. Is it because I'm Irish? You got a problem with that? And finally, at 46 minutes into the recording, possibly the most complex EVP that I had recorded, I had asked if there was a reason I was told to come and retrieve my audio recorder. No response. When asked if I was meant to simply retrieve it and leave again, I was met with this, which in real time sounded like a non-vocal noise, more akin to a pneumatic hissing, like a pfft, about 10 feet to my right. The audio itself features a female voice which can be heard responding, telling me to leave. Okay, fine. They can always tell me you want me gone. Okay, I heard that. Okay, fine. They can always tell me you want me gone. Okay, I heard that. wanting to ensure I could leave out anything that was debunkable, I contacted Lindsay, who was the only female with us at that time in the cell block. She confirmed that this voice actually is hers. The odder thing, however, is that the voice that you hear before it, speaking right after I finish asking my question, is not. I can also confirm, although only at the point of time that I was there live and not here, unfortunately, that Lindsay did not speak. She was in another room, and although you can hear her through the audio in many of the other clips, this voice that responded to me, that I responded to, was not hers in real time. And more peculiar, after we had returned to the showers and Lindsay was wrapping up her spirit box session, she asked if we had any interesting stories, any answers that were more complex than others. I told her about what was going on with my audio recorder, and this was news to everybody in the room, especially Lindsay, who, when I told her about the odd noise I did hear as a response, she confirmed that she had also been receiving a electronic vt, similar in noise to the one that I had been hearing in the hallway as a response to if I should leave or not. Beyond the audio itself, Lindsay confirmed that they also have what she believes is a mimic or a doppelganger, which has taken on the voice or appearance of other tour guides and has confused some of the other staff there as well. What we might be listening to here is something that is mimicking us, or her, the original voice from about 6 minutes in, which seems to be mimicking Lindsay, might be coming back towards the end of the video using her voice to tell me to leave. And although the West Block was the first area that we had investigated throughout the night, the rest of the building brought with us a number of other odd experiences, including Bill witnessing an emptied East Block cell being occupied by a man laying in a cot, whom he attempted to speak with, as well as possibly demonic interaction within the admin building's chair room. But those are potentially a video for another time. These experiences help to cement that the Ohio Reformatory has more going on than one visit can capture. So I will be returning in March 2022 on another overnight tour. Will this trip garner more evidence? We'll have to wait and see. But if it does, stay tuned here for more. Thanks for watching.